Hi, Angel. I love you so, so much. And there is so much I want to tell you about my life and life in general. And I think that's why I put doing these videos to you off because I am overwhelmed with how much I want to tell you. But I want to start out with telling you about this Christmas, just a part of it. I will do another video on your second Christmas, but I got these personalized sweatshirts. This one says Mimzy, established 2021, which was the year you were born. And then on the sleeve, it says Sophia. And you have, your mom has one that says Mama, and Daddy has one that says Daddy. And then you see these are in pink on black. Well, yours is pink with Sophia up here. And I absolutely love them. I couldn't wait to give them to your mom and dad for Christmas. So I took it over there probably the day before Christmas Eve. I took them to your house and they opened them and they were brought to tears as well because we all just love them. I also want to tell you about a Bible. Now, these are not my spiritual beliefs at 63. I haven't been for a while. However, I was raised Lutheran. I went to a Lutheran school for kindergarten and first grade, and then moved to Garden City for second grade on. But my grandma gave me this Bible when I was 11 in 1971, and she inscribed it to me. Here, there we go. From Grammy and Grampy to Jill Marie Fudge. Fudge was my maiden name. Um, Let me read you the inscription. Honey girl, in the years to come, in your future, and as you read this Bible now, day by day, may it give you comfort and give you the wisdom and humility that I have learned from the beautiful verses and the words of our Lord that will always give you the courage and faith to live your life true to yourself and to God. God bless and keep you strong in your love for He who created you. All our love, Graham and Gramps. So, of all the things, material things that I have been able to hang on to throughout my life, this is the only thing. I have moved 38 times in my life, not counting prison and recovery houses and treatment and all those things. But somehow, all those times I've moved, I've lived in my car twice. I've been evicted a handful of times in life, and I've managed to hang on to this. And I intend to have it rebound because you see it's falling apart and give it to you. It was from your great grandma to me, and now I'm giving it to you. I don't know where your spiritual beliefs will lie. That's a very personal thing. Um, I hope you keep an open mind about that, Sophia. because it's one of the most important things you're ever going to do. And, I started out as Lutheran, but when I was able to start to free think in my teens, I wasn't just going by what I was told to believe, told what is true. I kind of went on a quest. I thought this makes no sense to me, like the Old and the New Testament. There were too many contradictions for me. So I began kind of researching, but then shortly after I got into drugs, and that took up a lot of my life. And whenever I went to jail or prison, especially prison, that was a 5.5 year thing. I had all the time in the world to research Buddhism. I read the entire Bhagavad Gita, the Hindu scriptures. Um, I dabbled in Taoism, Darwinism, the theory of evolution. I'm looking for something I could believe in 100%. However, I was unable to find that. The Bhagavad Gita, I was impressed. I'm like, oh yes, I can believe that because it resonated in my soul as truth. And that's been my guiding force a lot of my life. Um, Resonating as truth in my soul. Um, but then I'd read like 20 pages after what I was believing in there, and I thought, oh no, they've gone out in left field somewhere. I can't get with this. This isn't resonating as truth. So when I got clean in 2002, I read more, and I came across a book at the Dearborn Heights Library. I mean, I prayed when I went into this library, and I'm like, God, I'm trying really hard to find something to believe in here. I need some guidance. Please help me. And I kind of just walked over to where this book was, and it was called Conversations with God. There's book one, two, and three. Book one is about personal truths. Book two is about worldly truths. And book three is about universal truths. And I started with book one, and I got partway, not long into it, but it started explaining about manifesting, your ability to manifest your own reality. And I had to set the book down on my chest. I was laying in bed when I was reading it. I set it down and I'm like, God, could this really be the truth? That I have that much control over my life that I can manifest my own reality? Well, indeed, that is what I found to be true. Whether it be the negative or the positive, the healthy or the unhealthy. Um, it worked when I was out getting high. I manifested a whole lot of stuff in that world, although I didn't know it. But it is the way it works. And I'm sure you will learn more from your father. Um, he believes in that as well. I believe your mom has different beliefs. I can't say I don't have the market on the truth. Honey, I just know what works in my world, what makes sense to me, what resonates as truth in my soul. So I am going to gift you this Bible anyway. and we'll go from there, okay? I intend to be around a long time so I can see all the great, beautiful, wonderful milestones in your life. And hopefully, as you get older, you'll begin asking me questions and I can tell you what I know to be true in my life, nobody else's, in mine. So, I also want to talk a minute about the tree of life. The tree of life. Now, you've been holding on to this, especially while you were drinking a bottle and getting ready to fall asleep. You would hold on to this and rub it. And I got to where I was saying, tree, you want tree? And you would take this. And now, as you've gotten older, you want me to take down this off the wall. And then we start pointing at things. Things that you know, like the eyes, the mouth, the flowers, the bird, the dove. Some things you don't understand, but you recognize things. So I take it off the wall when you ask me to, and I let you look at it, point at it, and I want to give you some information about that. So it is a sign of your soul, eternity, everything. Because I say you are everything. And you are. You are my greatest joy, Sophia. I can't even tell you how much I love you. In the Bible, like I was just showing you, a tree in the Garden of Eden whose fruits impart eternal life. Tree-like structure represent the evolutionary divergence of all living creatures. So that's what the tree stands for in the Bible. It also represents the source of life, a force that connects all lives, the cycle of life and death itself. It also represents growth. As a person grows stronger, increases their knowledge and experience throughout their lifetime. It also symbolizes immortality and healing. It also, I've read before that it stands for uniqueness, personal development. So I love all of it. I just think that it symbolizes everything I believe in. So it's very important to me. This is my all-time favorite necklace. You, although you can't really see yourself, but there is a mirror image of you on here. I don't know if you can see that, but together, these are everything. And I wanted to tell you about, there are so many endearing things you do, you say, you are, that means so much to me, make me want to cry. One that has really just touched my heart deeply recently is, you will put your hand on my face and And your mom says you do it to her as well. Sophia, what a beautiful thing to do. It's like you really see me. You really acknowledge me and how much I mean to you because I adore you and you adore me. And that will never, ever change. And I not only love you with everything that I am, but I am in love with you. It's a whole different level. And I wanted to, and I'm going to tell you some life lessons. But since we are talking about deep, deep, meaningful love, I want to let you know about the love for your dad that I have. So I got pregnant with your dad 15 days after I got out of prison. And I had to leave your grandfather because he was getting high. And I knew I did not want my baby to be addicted to drugs. So I went and stayed in a shelter downtown in Detroit. And since my mother, the woman that gave birth to me, lived down there, I kind of reconnected with her. Um, I really never felt like she was my mother, like I was her daughter, she was mom. Um, she was Madeline. But I did go down and hang out with her at her house a lot out of the because you could leave the shelter in the morning. And there was this black woman there that was pregnant with twins. And she went into labor and she left and she came back to the shelter with those twins. And when I saw that, I dropped to my knees, Kiwi. I begged God not to let me have my baby and bring him back to that. And about a month before I gave birth, I got a call from Section 8, which is government subsidized housing, meaning the government helps pay for part of it. And I got there, 2-bedroom. So I decorated your dad's room, his nursery, and it was just, it was incredible. I felt so grateful that I did not have to bring your dad back to the shelter. So when I went into labor and I had your dad, I remember when they put him in my arms and I looked at him for the first time. It's almost indescribable. I could actually feel the chemicals going off in my brain, in my body, and I loved him so much. It was like I thought I knew what love was before that. I thought I knew, but this was love. Oh, above and beyond anything I had ever experienced. And I fell in love with him too. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience. Just as it was a beautiful, beautiful experience when I saw you for the first time. One of the coolest things about when you were born, I came up to see your mom and you. I sat down in a rocking chair in her room, and she put you in my arms, and you were so little, and I had you up here, and I was rocking, and you smelled that new baby smell. And I felt so much love for you while I had my eyes closed and was rocking you. I thought this must be what heaven is like. It was incredible as well. Off the charts. Incredible. And throughout my life, after I got clean, because until I got clean, drugs were my priority. Although I said I loved your dad more than anything on the face of the earth, my actions didn't show that. But when I got clean, your grandfather, Pat, had already gotten Dylan from Child Protective Services. His sister had him. She became a certified foster parent, so he didn't have to. He was in the system, but he was not with strangers. He was with her. But he got clean 2 years before me. So when I got clean, he was he was 100% my top priority. And I'll come back to that in another video. But I was always there for your dad, honey. He became lost along the way when he was a teenager, as I had become lost. And he began using drugs. And people in my world, like my sponsor, friends, they all said I had to let him go when he became 18 because there was a lot of drama and chaos and police and a lot of stuff. I said, you gotta be kidding me. There is no way I'm not gonna be there for him. No way. See, I had always believed that my only God given job was to be there for him, to raise him, to get him set in life before I left this earth. He had always been there for me, even though he was a child. I got clean when he was 8, but I firmly believe he was the one. that prayed me up in Narcotics Anonymous and got clean. He was the only one that believed in me. And damn it, I was going to be the only one to believe in him if no one else did. And it turned out wonderful. I think your mom and dad and I are better people, more insightful, more self aware, more compassionate, more understanding than the quote unquote normal people out there because of the lives we've led. Um, I don't think that's the only way you can get there, Sophie. I don't ever want to see you have to suffer the way we have. The beautiful thing about it, Sophie, is that we are able to pass on all the wisdom we've acquired in our lives and suffered from addiction so you don't have to. The cycle is broken here, right now. Never, ever want to have to see you go through anything like that. I also wanted to give you some life lessons, not just my history, but life lessons that I've learned. I think that's really important, like the spiritual thing that I just told you about. Sophia Alice Hope Price. Be yourself, honey girl, because everybody else is taken. Be yourself. Get comfortable in your own skin. There are a lot of things that will change. There is nothing that will ever stay the same. The only constant in this universe is that everything will change. So, who you are today will grow and evolve and heal, but always strive to be who you are, regardless of what anybody else says. Feel your feelings, speak your mind, wear the clothes you want, listen to the music you want, take the classes you want, or learn. We're going to homeschool you for a while. I'm hoping forever until you go out on your own. But what I'm saying, Sophia, be creative the way you want to be creative. Read the books you like. Gather information on the subjects that interest you. Have the friends that you want, that you like, not who somebody says you should be friends with. Life is one hell of a journey, honey. There's a saying, stand in your truth because you can fall for anything. Somebody told me that about 4 months into my recovery in 2002. In fact, there was something going on with me in my world where she said it to me in a very firm way, not really yelling, but Jill, stand in your truth. And I'm like, stand in my truth? What is my truth? I don't know what my truth is. I've been lying to everybody and myself for so long. I have no idea what my truth is. But it sure as hell sent me on a quest to find out. And I did find out. And one of the challenges is standing in that, speaking it. Because there's always something in us that makes us want people to like us. But we can't get so caught up in that we don't say what our truth is just to be liked by others. It's dangerous. I mean, in all relationships, whether it's mother, son, mom, dad, friends, there can always be compromise. You give a little, they give a little. Speak your truth, but be willing to, adjust it a little. If somebody you really value is in your world, not a lot, like, don't let go of your beliefs, your opinions, your views. Sometimes in life, co-workers, friends, bosses, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, you know, your grandpa's deceased, but you understand what I mean. I'm saying anybody in your life. Sometimes you have to agree to disagree. I have been where I'm going to tell you, and I know a lot of people that are like this now, where they gotta be right. They will fight, they will argue because they have to be right or get you to agree with them. Not good. Not good. Sometimes it's just okay to say, hey, we got to agree to disagree. I respect your point of view. I understand you have, because everything is colored by your life experiences, Sophia. My experiences aren't going to be like yours or your dad's or, Susie Q next door. My opinions, my views, my perceptions are all colored by my life, and they're going to be different than theirs. Keep an open mind. Hey, I see. I see where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying, but I happen to believe differently. My experiences taught me to believe differently. Stand in your truth and be yourself, baby girl. Learn to listen. There is an art to listening, and not many people have mastered that art. They're more busy talking or thinking about what they're going to say instead of really listening to what you're saying. So you be the one who is got the art of listening down. Have direct eye contact with people. Have an open body language. Nod your head when you understand. If you don't understand, look quizzically like, I don't know about that. Tell me more. Have good posture. Smile. There are actual chemicals, feel good chemicals that go off in your brain when you smile, and it will never fail you. Be kind. Be kind. I tell you what, the world is much different than I was a child. It seems as if people are more incompetent, whether I'm calling the government, I'm calling the state of Michigan, or I'm at Tim Hortons getting a coffee, and everything in between. People seem more incompetent in general. Not everybody, but a whole hell of a lot. And I can get very frustrated and get snarky, salty, whatever you want to call it. I surely can. You get more bees with honey than vinegar. So the saying goes. It pays to be nice to people. There's a time when you're not going to be so nice. Because I'm not one for taking stuff from people like on the phone or even out in the world. I'm just standing in my truth, right or wrong. And that's another thing I want to say real quick. I'm not real big on the words should, shouldn't, good, bad. There's a whole lot of judgment that goes with those words. You should do this. You should do that. Things should be different. Well, who said? Who said should? I should do anything. And who are they to tell me I should do this or that or shouldn't? We all got to walk our own path, Kiwi, and learn from any kind of mistakes that we feel we've made. That's what life's about. Learn the best way to deal with you, yourself, and the world that you live in. and learn from your experience. That's all we can do, is our best. And in place of those words, shouldn't, good, bad, I prefer healthy and unhealthy. That might be a really unhealthy thing you're thinking about doing. You might want to reconsider the consequences of that. Doesn't that sound better than you shouldn't do that? Still give people a choice. You might want to reconsider that. It sounds kind of unhealthy to me. You might have some consequences behind that. I'm a firm believer you can say just about anything to anybody if you put it the right way in your attitude that goes with it. Be compassionate. Feel for other people. People that are suffering. Animals. I love animals. Always have. There are some dogs and cats that have saved my life from when I was a child to Bear Paw Kitty and Willow, who we have now. They saved me. They love us unconditionally. There are no shouldn'ts, good, bad. You walk in the house angry and they're going to love you. You walk in the house tired, emotional, crying, they're going to love you. They're going to be there, probably right by your side. Give back. In Narcotics Anonymous, they talk about giving back what was so freely given to you. Boy, oh boy, there's a lot given in Narcotics Anonymous. When I got clean in 2002, Kiwi, I was a hot mess. There was a lot of self-loathing going on. I didn't believe in me, that I could make it in life without drugs, that I could live without drugs. And people loved me till I could love myself, and they believed in me until I could believe in myself. And it was an incredible journey. And I'll tell you more about that another time. But give back. Volunteer at a food bank, at a nursing home, at the Humane Society, at a school, at a library, read books on Saturday to kids. Try to be involved and give back. I can already tell, baby, you are so very smart. You aren't talking 100% right now, but you know everything we're saying. Do you always listen? Like, stop doing what we're telling you to stop doing. No, no, you don't. You're a 2-year old, but you know what we're saying to you. Read, read, and read. I wasn't always a big reader. I was always pretty smart, though. I really didn't have to take school books home. You know, I could do all right without any homework. You know, I did homework, but I didn't have to take books home. That at times for projects, stuff like that. But when I went to prison, uh, I read book after book after book after book. I learned to just get lost in the books. I'm going to say a car full of books, trunk, floor, you name it. I read and I read and I read and I read. I guess it was my escape from that life. But boy, it was a good one. I chose right. And it enlightened me and it taught me and just read. Learn to love books because man, I can't tell you. Seek them out. I read some fiction if it involved crimes, stuff like that, because I was a criminal, you know, but mostly nonfiction. And then when I got clean in 2002, I read a lot, and I would have your dad like first it was overnight on the weekend, then it was every other weekend. That's what it started as, and it was every weekend. Then it was like Wednesday and the weekend. So I had your dad a lot. Wherever he was living, I'd have to take him like on Monday to school. So while I was reading, I would talk to your dad about the book. I would tell him what was going on in the book, and each time I saw him, in fact, Conversations with God. So I was reading that book, and him and I, we've always had our best talks in the car. And I'm telling him about that book and about manifesting. He's 8, and I'm telling him about all this. And I'm just so excited and just like so geeked on the idea that this is how we can live our lives by creating our own reality. And I'm so excited. And I look over at him and I'm like, you know what? If me talking to you in this way, you think I'm crazy, it's okay to tell me that. I can deal with that. And he said, you know what, Mom? The way you're talking and you're telling me about this makes me feel alive. I almost had to pull off the road. 8 years old. It makes me feel alive. Your dad's an old soul, baby. I said that when he was born. He was about 6 months old. I said, this is an old soul. And he has revealed himself to be that time and time again. So, yes, read and share. Share what you read. There is something about speaking what you've read that helps it to stick in your mind when you talk about it with someone else. Find out what you like and you dislike, Sophie. And then really go with it, embrace it, no matter what anybody else says. That's one of the keys. For me, I love Marilyn Monroe. I have for decades. For decades. She's beautiful. One of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. She's got a sense of innocence about her and sexiness. I've just always really, really liked her. Loved her. I love the color purple and all shades of purple. When I was a kid, I had a purple, deep purple bedspread I got for Christmas. Fuzzy, furry. It was pretty cool. And then I had all kinds of accessories that were purple and orange. I mean, that was kind of the accent color. But yeah, yeah. Since your mom's been pregnant with you, I've kind of been embracing pink. I like pink now. Of course, the tree of life, animals, the universe. That's my higher power. The Actually, it's called the universal life force in my world. I believe everything is energy. You, me, the table, the computer, all this space that looks empty. In my world, it's not empty. There's energy. We just can't perceive it with our eyes because we have such limited perception with our senses. And I think this energy is what connects me to the guy on the Taiwanese beach. This energy that is everywhere connects me to everybody, every living thing. That is what works for me. If you get tattoos, have some meaning behind it. I got your dad his very first tattoo when he was 16. It was a 3-leaf clover because his dad was Irish. So I got him that. My first tattoo was on my left ankle. It's a scene of sun, moon, stars, clouds, the universe. So it symbolizes my spirituality. The second one I got was on my right calf. It's a picture of a beautiful butterfly and kind of a swirly branch, and in between the branch and the butterfly is a heart, and that's your dad. And the place I got clean at, the place that I worked at for 15 years, 10 years full time, now part time. The Lighthouse, Personalized Nursing Lighthouse, an addiction treatment center. Um, their whole philosophy is that we are butterflies in the quote unquote normal people, non addict, non alcoholic, are caterpillars, but we are the healing force of the universe, butterflies. And that's why I have a butterfly on my leg. One I got here is Mama Bear, me, and the little bear is your dad. So, your dad's nickname was Boo when he was little. At first, baby Boo, my Boo, that kind of thing. Then it went into Booey. Booey. Yeah, my Booey boy. And yeah. And then it went to Booey Bear. And he was called that for quite a while. And as he got older, it became just Bear. So these are the bears. Then I have this. It's a beautiful purple feather and the word love because love is everything. That's why you are everything. It all comes down to love. In the end, the only thing I will leave behind is the love I've given and take the love I've got from others. So in the end, that's all that matters. I mean, I can't take my car, can't take my bank account, can't take my tree of life. I can't take anybody. That's all I'm taking. So that's all there is. I love retro. I love things from my childhood, teenage years, classic rock, Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, In Excess, Allman Brothers, classic. It'll never go out of style in my world. It's classic rock. Santana. Uh, like I told you, mine and your dad's best conversations were in the car, and while we were riding, I would always be listening to classic rock. So I'd say, listen to that guitar. Where have you heard that guitar before? Do you know who this is? And he learned to identify Santana and Bob Seger and Pink Floyd. Oh, Pink Floyd. Yes, yes, yes. He learned to identify them because I would always ask him, do you know who this is? Listen, do you recognize this voice? Love classic rock. Um, I love a kitchen table with chairs on casters. Love, love, love it. That was from my childhood, for sure. Um, Clothes. I love retro clothes that remind me of back in the day. Yeah, yeah. So You may not like that. Your dad might not like it, but I know I like it. All living things, honey. Pinky. We got the fish, Pinky. Pinky has lasted well over a year. Wow. I'm impressed. Cause I had a hard time keeping fish alive there for a minute in that tank. But Pinky, hardy, hardy, hardy fish. Plants. I really believe plants are good to the soul. It's healthy to talk to plants. Even plants, like things you plant out in the yard, they can hear. They hear the energy the vibrations. You can talk in your hand and you can feel the vibrations. And the plants feel that as well. They say that there are some people that can hear plants and trees. Like sometimes the powers that be will cut down an entire forest. And these people can hear the trees screaming because they've been cut down. I don't know about that because I can't hear the trees, but I believe they feel the vibrations. In fact, I believe that the earth is a living organism and it absorbs the negative energy that's being put out to it, like war. And that is what causes some of the natural disasters, volcano eruptions, tsunamis, horrible weather, um, tornadoes. I believe the earth absorbs a lot because it's living. It's like we would absorb stress, and then we have to eventually blow or something to cope. And I think that that's how the earth copes. Oh, two more things I want to tell you about. Trust your gut. I personally believe there are two invisible umbilical cords to the universe. That would be your gut feeling and your conscience. Your conscience will always tell you right from wrong. Although we don't always listen, do we? But your gut feeling. If I now call it my inner wisdom, and I absolutely believe in it. I've learned sometimes from really hard lessons in life to listen to it. It's not going to guide me wrong. There are some situations, there are some people in the world that you're going to meet that your gut is going to say, oh, something's wrong. Something's not right here. Or, oh, this is dangerous. Or, oh man, this person, something's wrong. They're going to do something bad. I know it. In those situations, Kiwi, my suggestion is get the fuck out. In those situations around those people, when you get that gut feeling, it doesn't matter what they say or anybody around them. You listen to your gut and you get the fuck out. I cannot stress this enough. I had this conversation with your dad when he was a little boy. Absolutely trust it, Kiwi. Tell somebody. Tell me. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. If something isn't right, do not try to handle it yourself. You tell one of us and let us handle it, okay? Be safe always. Lastly, for this video, I want to tell you that family is everything. Family is everything. Since your dad was my only child, and I've been single a lot of the time, dating here and there, living with guys a couple times, but mostly it's just been him and I. I've only married once, and I will only marry once. It's done. I would never do it again. My experience may not be yours, but done my time. So I always thought it as me and Dylan. It's all about me and Dylan. I I knew him and I were blood family. However, I didn't think of us as family. You know what I mean? I guess because my family growing up, my grandma, grandpa, and Gene, my father, things were so dysfunctional there. I really couldn't think of as us. I knew we were blood family. However, it just was too much for me to identify as family. I remember saying when I was getting high, if you had my family, you'd be getting high too. That is how I identified family. But then when I was so honored to be able to officiate, to be the one that officiated your dad and mom's wedding, one of the highlights of my life. One of the highlights of my life. And then you come along. Then it was family. And I would do anything for my family. big scheme of things. I don't know how, although I do know people that have disowned their children because they were addicts or they were gay or they were this or they were that. Can't can't understand it. It doesn't resonate in my soul as truth to do that. I will always be there for you and for your dad and mom. It's just how it is. I love you so much, Sophie. Can't even tell you, baby girl. I spend on the days I don't have you. I spend most of the time preparing for you to come. Getting the right foods in the house, making sure things are safe, cleaning, making sure the floors are clean and vacuumed and your clothes are clean. And then I get you. Like, especially when you get to stay the night. Highlights of my week. I always lay down with you when you take a nap. I may not always sleep, but I'm always right there. Always. You've gotten to like blueberry muffins because every morning I have a coffee and a blueberry muffin until dinner time. My system kind of runs on that. But when you get up with me early, when I make coffee and that, on the days you spend the night, I know you're going to go back to sleep. So I don't like fix you a big breakfast and eggs and hash browns and all that stuff. I give you a muffin, a blueberry muffin. Like me, taken to like blueberry muffins in the morning. So it's kind of cool. There are always things I want to tell you. And I've taken them to writing them down. So when I do these videos, I remember to include a lot of stuff. So I love you with all my heart and all my soul. I am so grateful you are in this world and a part of my family. Please know I would do anything for you. Till next time, Angel.